I do know in the history of the comics that I had quite an interaction with the Hulk.
Yeah, me too.
In fact, I think I pretty much beat the living daylights out of the Hulk. Right. So I think I'd like to do that.
First of all, guys, amazing job on Guardians Volume 3. You guys are welcomed additions to this franchise. What a great bookend to James Gunn's journey in the MCU saga. Chuck, first question's for you. Marvel usually makes sure that the villains have these understandable motivations like Thanos or Killmonger or Namor, but High Evolutionary isn't like that. What is it like to play a character who kind of taps into the cruelest and truest evils?
So much fun. No, it is. I've used the word delicious because it's like eating a really good meal and being surprised each time you're allowed to taste something else, and it's a safe environment to do it in. Honestly, those are parts of your psyche that are fun to explore as an actor because they're so far away from what I would ever do as a person, you know? Yeah. And great points on picking up that we didn't want to spend time trying to make them more sympathetic about it. This is what it is. This is his mission in life. My job is to hopefully do it in a way where people can see what he does for what he does and still somehow want to see him come back on the screen. That's my job. And it's not to be done by watering him down. It's to be done by engaging people, to live my truth so hard that it's engaging to watch, you know? So I love the challenge. I love the challenge of it, and it was a joy, you know?
Adam Warlock is extremely powerful, but a very young character. Can you talk to me about playing that dichotomy?
Yeah, that was interesting. I suppose it was a dichotomy. I think kind of the weight of responsibility that comes with being kind of born into the sovereign, with all these kind of expectations hanging over your head. Innate power, beyond kind of imagination, but without the kind of psychological or intellectual aptitude to be able to sort of actually put it to good use or aim it in the right direction yet. And finding his way, he's still on a journey of kind of navigating himself and charting his path, both I think literally and also kind of in a moral sense. And I loved that, and I think that gave me kind of the opportunity to play some humor and some drama, and I relished the chance to do both in a movie that I think does two things very, very well in that sense.
Absolutely. Now, Chuck, during the press conference, you mentioned the High Evolutionary was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. How did you infuse that air of wealth into the character? Why was he such an important part of him?
I just felt when I read the script that there was something so regal and entitled about this guy, and you're always trying to associate it with, adjectives that you're familiar with. And there was a sense of entitlement with him. He has people call him sire. He's called the High Evolutionary, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? So this isn't someone that came from humble beginnings in his head. So that's what I need. I mean, that doesn't really match up necessarily with the comic book history, but the history of this guy, to make it the most dynamic and immediate, I had to have that sense of entitlement and extreme narcissism. So that's where I took it from.
Warlock reminds me of the early days of the Guardians characters. How did it feel to kind of go back into the root of these lesser known characters that are extremely beloved? And where do you want to see that character go in the future?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. If I think about the origin of my character, it's like Golden Spoon, in my mouth as well. It's like you also, kind of are born with a sense of entitlement and an unproven, unearned kind of privilege and status. And that's really interesting. I don't know where he's headed. And if I did, I would tell you, honestly, but I don't. I'm very honored that he's a beloved character and that, fans have been excited to see him. And I've just been wanting to try and sort of do justice to what James wrote. Excited to try and hopefully take him on and explore his evolution, but I don't know exactly how that'll look. So yeah.
One thing I love about this film is that James really does make this feel like a comic book story arc where he wrote all three of these volumes and now like his chapter is over. What was it like on set knowing that this was going to be his final chapter?
It's weird because everyone expects that to have affected how the set was. I can't imagine, having worked with him before, that it was really any different apart from the usual enthusiastic, subversive, hilarious, slightly crazy, but very focused work environment that he created. I think that overarching thing of like knowing this was the last one made it more emotional for members of the cast. But the day-to-day, there were targets that had to be hit, and they were hit in a, typically James Gunn fashion,
In the MCU, your characters are brand new. I mean, I guess your character kind of appeared in a post-credit scene in Volume 2. Who would you like to see your characters interact with in the grander MCU?
Yeah, it's hard not to sound incredibly greedy. I'm pretty grateful for how it's gone so far. But I did mention earlier I'm really desperate to try and work with Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah. So if I can cross over with the Black Panther cast, I would not be mad at that. I would not be mad at that.
Again, this has been a real gift, but I do know in the history of the comics that I had quite an interaction with the Hulk.
Yeah, me too.
In fact, I think I pretty much beat the living daylights out of the Hulk. Right. So I think I'd like to do that.
Look, James Gunn he knows how to really write and tap into family and found family in the three themes in his films. Can you talk to me about what it was like working with him? I mean, you've worked with him on Peacemaker. But can you talk to me about working with him on this film?
Better be good. Yeah, better be good. He's right there. No. He is a genius. No,
he's a genius.
Honest. I mean, for me, there was starting off working with him in Peacemaker, which is a very different experience because this was the guy that did Guardians, and it's scary, but it was a lot of fun from the start. It was very subversive, like I said, very fun on set. But coming into Guardians was a bit more of that because at that point I knew this guy trusted me and he's giving you this. So it's a real confidence booster to work with someone who could literally have anyone he wants to work with and chooses you, and it's always fun,
We can be honest now, he just left.
He's left. He's a real
nightmare.
A nightmare, mate. Jeez.
It's an honor to work with someone who is that gifted creatively, but really that wouldn't necessarily matter all that much if he wasn't such a great human being as well and didn't hold himself and other people to a very high standard about how they, treated their colleagues and the, the kind of set environment that they're trying to create. So in that respect, he's, as good of a guy as he is a creative, and that's kind of like the best thing I can say about him, really.
Something else that we get with James Gunn films is great music. So we're going to switch gears for a second and play a little game. It's going to be Songmaster of the Galaxy. The two of you are going to go up against each other. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read a song lyric from each, one song from each volume of the film, of a different Guardians film. You look nervous, Chuck.
I'm terrible with songs. Anyway, keep going.
I'm terrible with games. So.
Well, you know what? This is my first time doing this too, so let's do this.
We're on the same boat.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a song lyric. You can guess the name of the song for a point, or you can finish the song by singing it for an extra point. Now, here's the thing. Don't go over 10 seconds because we don't want to get flagged on YouTube, but we can start. So I'm going to start something easy from volume 1. I'm going to start, this lyric is, I can't stop this feeling. It's the easiest one.
Stop.
That's not, no, I'm confused now with Black Eyed Peas.
I'm going to do with the next lyric then.
Okay.
Deep inside of me.
Indigestion. No, I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm blank. But so bad at this.
Yeah.
Girl, you just don't realize.
I'm trying to make
what you do to me. I'm lip reading at this point.
That's right.
To be honest, yeah.
When you hold me in your, it's the Blue Suede, the Hooked on a Feeling. No.
Oh, Hooked on a Feeling. I do. Oh yeah. Sorry. That is. I do now. I've got blank. But if you know what I'm talking about. That's a famous one. That was
the one that plays when his ship flies off at the beginning with. And anyway, I can't remember it.
I do recognize
It's fair.
that.
You guys weren't in volume 1, so that was a test round.
Yeah.
Let's go to volume 2.
I'm so bad at this.
I'm not going to lie. Volume 2 gets a little harder, but the sun is shining in the sky.
That's a fact. Probably.
It is, absolutely. There ain't a cloud in sight.
Depends where you are. London is very cloudy.
Yeah. It stopped raining. Everybody's in the play.
Everybody's in the play?
It says.
No.
I didn't
You didn't write it. You don't even know the
lyrics.
So you're giving us stuff that's even hard for you.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like, this one I wouldn't have gotten either. So this is... We're just going to call that second round even because I wouldn't have known that one either.
We both failed, yeah.
Okay, so look, volume 3. You guys are in volume 3. Let's hope.
Yes, we are in that.
So.
We are in
You guys
that.
are in this. So let's hope somebody gets this one. I don't care if it hurts.
I do, because this is really
This is
hurting
painful.
Right now. Yeah,
Painful.
It's really, yeah.
I want to have control.
I really wish I had control
Don't
right now.
we all? That's kind of
I wish we all had control right now. I want a perfect body.
I don't
Not working for me.
any of
None
this.
of this.
I want a perfect soul.
Nope, nothing.
Anybody in this room know this
anyone
song?
know this
Anybody
song?
here?
What is it?
There's a hand going up. Someone does know.
Hum it. Hum the tune.
Creep.
Oh my
Radiohead.
God, and that's my, like, at the beginning. That's my...
Yeah.
I suck.
This is bad.
That was
We have embarrassed
abysmal.
ourselves.
Yeah.
It's okay. I probably
Can you imagine
would.
if James had walked
in
in
all
for this
fairness-
period of the
Yes,
interview?
we missed James at the wrong moment.
Thank God we did the gig.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
This was part of the audition process.
It would be over.
But Chuck, Will, thanks so much
I
for coming
really
in.
don't, in all fairness, qualifier, I'm so bad with lyrics. I've made up my favorite songs in the world. I still don't know the lyrics, but I just make up lyrics. So this is no surprise to me.
That's
at all.
like what my daughter does.
I do it. You should. My wife is in musical theater, and it breaks her heart every day to hear me sing.
Well, let me ask you guys this question then, just to wrap this out. Is Guardians of the Galaxy is known for its music. If you can summarize your experience in Guardians of the Galaxy, what would be the song you would choose for your soundtrack?
Let's go round again. Because I'm trying to do it again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I regret singing that. I'll be honest
That
with
was
you.
very good.
I really regret singing that.
Someone has asked a similar question to this, and I don't know. I still don't have an answer. I really love. Not that I was under pressure, but there's something about that dun dun
Dun, 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 dun.
dun 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 dun. And the way it kicks in, that I actually would love to have had an entrance with that music playing at some point in Guardians, because I just love that entrance and stuff.
The Chuck cut. We'll get that. We'll put
get
that.
the Chuck
put that
cut
in.
and get it done. Yeah.
Look, you guys are good sports. Thank you guys so much for your time.
You're a
Actually,
great sport.
you're a great sport, because if that was a competitive sport, you'd have killed us.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
I
what
would
mean?
have gotten them all wrong
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
maybe except the first one. So there we are. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank
I
you
really
so
appreciate it.
much.
Appreciate
Cheers.
it. Thanks a lot.